It started after I graduated from college and started working, and I started having an interest in the history of the game, the antiquity of the game, and so I got an interest in the hickory era. I love the art of the design. If there was one thing that I think that I did fairly decently in my career was to make the club look appealing. But I always was keen to make it perform as well as it possibly could, but I wanted to look good. So, no, I actually started on the other end of the bag. I started with woods and persimmon woods back in the early 80s. Fortunately for me, the big fellows weren't making so good woods, and so it left a little niche for me, and I started making some with a wood maker, and then I turned into my own company. And in about 6 or 7 years, we were the #1 wood used, like the Masters and things like that. Well, I had some help along the way, some great players, a few of them Australian. Peter Thompson was a big help to me, and I made some woods for him when he came over to play a few years in the senior tour. He just won 11 times one year. And David Graham. I got to say a lot of kudos to David, because he was a huge supporter of mine and a friend, but he probably the most knowledgeable golfer, professional golfer that I've ever experienced.
Cleveland has worked with some of the game's best players over the years, but says few have challenged him, quite like the short game wizard, Phil Mickelson.
Well, he does test us, quite a bit. Now, he's really active. He lives fairly close to our test center and our facility, and he comes over quite often and has ideas, and he's very curious and wants to know how things work, why things work, and he wants to take every advantage he can and put it into his game. David Graham was certainly that. Kevin Kistner, who just won on the East Coast, doesn't care. We set him up at the first of the year, and he says, "I'll see you in December." The first time he came to us, he wanted the biggest groove known to man. Okay, of course, it had to be legal within the USGA rules, but I mean, he swings really hard at this shot with an open face, and he looks at it and he says, "That's it. That's my Mac Daddy groove." And so that name stuck. And so our whole line of wedges since he started being with us was the Mac Daddy line, so it's really fun. Well, he's got an imagination. He's tried things. The shot he hit on the back of 15 at Augusta, I mean, he hits a full flop shot with a 64-degree wedge, gets up there and makes birdie. You know, I would think the only person in the field saw that shot was Phil. Who said that everything has been invented that's, back 100 years ago? Oh, I think we're constantly improving and learning things. And sometimes they're small. Yeah, I'm already working on the next design of the wedge, and I got a concept when I get back on our driver. Yeah, I'm always thinking about that. I'm not done. I want to encourage everybody to go to their pro and take some lessons for the short game. I was asking some players yesterday at the Australian, how much time as a percentage do you spend on your short game? I know Phil's answer, okay, but some of these guys were saying, 60, 70% on their short game. Now the amateur, you want to go out and when you hit some balls, you want to just go bang them and try that driver. The quickest way to improve your game and lower your handicap is in the short game, because you don't hit, the pros hit 13 greens, 14 greens on a pretty good day. We miss half or more. And so the opportunity to lower your score is much greater with the short game. I tell you, what Australia has that I've noticed are some really wonderful, wonderful teachers. And they're everywhere. Melbourne, Sydney, I love Australia. It's an amazing place, and you're very, very fortunate to have the great courses and the great instructors, and take advantage of those.